morning, students. Here in this video we'll discuss about steering. Okay, steering. This is the third model. Okay, so what is the necessity of steering? I will explain now. So it is necessary to run the automobile in a desired direction. This can be accomplished by providing steering system. Okay, besides brakes and accelerator, steering is very much essential to control the vehicle, without which an automobile will never exist. So like what happens, steering system plays a very important role where in the vehicle. Now directly moving towards the steering geometry. So what about the steering geometry? So here you have steering geometry. About the steering geometry. Okay, steering geometry. It is not enough to simply place the front wheel on hub and stand them upright and a device mechanism to swivel them left or right. The car could be driven, but it would steer very poorly, and at higher speed it would become dangerous to handle, and also tail life would be short. The wheel alignment refers to the positioning of front wheel and steering mechanism that promotes easy of steering, provides directional stability, and reduce tire wear to a minimum. To secure easy steering, smooth operation, and several front wheel alignment factor must be considered, such as camber, kingpin, or steering axis inclination, caster, toy in and toy out, and turning circles, etc. Now directly moving towards the power steering. So what is power steering? I will explain now. As per syllabus, how to moving towards the power steering. Now the power steering, oil assisted power steering. This is the diagram for oil assisted power steering. So what are the important parts of this oil assisted power steering? First one is the distributor slide valve. So this is the distributor slide valve, and this one is the worm, and drag link is there, and arm is there. Okay, this one is the arm, and this is the arm sector, and the steering wheel. This one is the steering wheel, and clear rack is there. Oil pipeline, these are the oil pipelines, and cylinder. Okay, this one is the cylinder. Okay, so these are the important parts of the oil assisted power steering. Now I will explain the oil assisted power steering. In heavy duty trucks, tractors, drivers has to apply inadequate effort to turn the wheel. The use of booster arrangement in the steering system overcomes the drawback. The booster is put into the operation when the steering wheel is turned. It does most of the work of steering. The power steering system uses compressed air, electrical mechanisms, and hydraulic pressure. The figure shows simplified diagram of hydraulic booster. The arrangement consists of a worm wheel, distributor slide wheel, booster, cylinder, etc. Already I have shown in that diagram. And when the steering wheel is turned, the worm turns the sector of the worm wheel. So here you are having worm, and sector worm sector will be turned. Okay, and hence actuate arm the arm in turn actuate the road wheels through drag link. If the resistance offered to the to turn the wheels is too high and driver effort to steering wheel is too weak, then the worm, like a screw in a nut, will be displaced axially together with a distributor slide valve. This axial movement will admit compressed air or oil in to booster cylinder through the pipeline. The piston in the booster cylinder will turn the road wheels via the gear rack, the toothed worm sector arm, and drag link. In the meantime, the worm sector will actuate the worm and will shift it along with the distribution slide valve to its initial position. This movement of slide valve will stop the piston and travel in the booster cylinder. Here, the system uses power assistance in proportion of effort needed to turn the wheel. So, likewise, what happens here? The power steering will. Now, the next part of this module is the suspension and springs. Okay, so why suspensions are required? So you'll understand here the ability of a vehicle to negotiate rough road and handle well at high speed is mainly due to proper design of suspension system. Okay, because of proper design of suspension system is only possible to handle the vehicle at high speed and the rough roads. The main objective of this main objectives of this suspension system is, we are having some objectives. That is, first one is to prevent road shocks from being transmitted to the vehicle parts, here by providing suitable riding and cushioning effect to the occupants, and reduces wear in the tire, and to keep the vehicle stable while motion by uh, providing good holding during driving, and cornering and braking, provides safe vehicle control and free of irritating vibrations. Now, what are the different types of springs which are used here for the suspension system? We'll discuss one by one. And first one is springs. Okay, okay, this is what it is. We are having some different types of suspension springs in cars and trucks. First one is the leaf spring or a laminated spring, helical or a coil spring, torsion bar, rubber elastic spring, hydroelastic spring, air spring. Okay, here mainly the very important type of springs are leaf spring, coil spring, torsion spring, and air spring. These are the important types of springs, and one by one we will discuss those. And now, the first one is the semi elliptical leaf spring. Okay, semi elliptical leaf spring, this is what it is. Semi elliptical leaf springs. Here